All right, you guys, this is Joshua Zitting, and today we are going to be walking you guys through basically a simple WordPress setup, help you guys understand the different tabs within your WordPress to where you can basically get some better functionality out of your website and set everything up with ease. So there are a couple of things that will make this process a little bit easier. So I wanted to mention this little plugin to you guys, which has helped me tremendously because I set up quite a few websites, and this just makes the process really, really simple. So this little Lightning WP, it's 19 bucks, so it's really inexpensive, but what it does is it basically deletes all of your pages when you first start a website. So there's always like little test pages, but the other thing is you can basically auto build your pages. So you can tell it right when you do the plugin if you want a home page, a privacy policy page, terms and conditions page, and it basically fills everything out for you. So this is going to save you a lot of time. The other thing is you can pick a YouTube video that's within your niche when you first get started and basically plug that onto your home page. This is going to allow your website to get indexed by Google, because what you don't realize is that if you have a brand new website, if it's not indexed by Google, if it hasn't been indexed by Google yet, then nobody can technically find your website through search. So a little trick that we use is we throw a YouTube video on the home page, and it's okay, you guys, while you're building it out, because honestly, nobody's going to find your website right now anyway. We've got to work on, basically setting some things up to get you traffic. So, but the nice thing about Lightning WP, and the light version, you guys, works just fine. So you can set everything up, basically have all of your pages ready to go, and that way you're pretty much ready to get set up. So with that, this is the dashboard of your WordPress site. So when you come in here, this is basically where everything on your site is set up. And again, don't be afraid of all this information on here, you guys, because a lot of it you're not necessarily gonna need right now. So the cool thing is that when you come into a brand new website, there's a lot of things that it's gonna take you a little bit of time to kind of understand and get things set up for yourself. So let me actually take you guys to one sec. Here we go. So this is a brand new site that I'm working on right now, you guys. And so let's talk a little bit about this menu on the left-hand side, okay? First of all, we have posts, and then we have pages. You guys understand that both of these function exactly the same. So some people wonder, well, do I want to do it as a post? Do I want to do it as a page? The truth is, when you get into your actual customization of your menus and themes, it doesn't matter if it's a page or post. You can still put it on your menu. You can still do all the stuff that you need to do. So understand that, like, when you run your pages and posts, and as you guys can see, this is a brand new website. When you create this menu up here, like your home page and stuff like that, it doesn't matter if it's a post or a page for anything. So typically what I do for the pages, I mean, you can separate this out, but for the pages, just to keep things organized for myself, I'll do the typical things like home page, about us. And as you guys can see, I used that program. So I was just informed that my screen's not shared. So let's go ahead and share my screen. Awesome. Okay. So let's revert back for a second, you guys. I apologize. This is your dashboard, okay? The program that I was talking about is Lightning WP, okay? So if you guys go to this right here, or actually, you know what? I'll put a link in the description. It'll make it really easy for you guys to access. So on this left-hand side, you guys, we have posts and we have pages. And like I said, as far as their functionality, they do exactly the same thing. They're going to look exactly the same. But for my own organizational purpose, for pages is where I typically put like the about us, the disclosure, you know, if you have any of this stuff. So, and these are all pages that I created using that plugin that I just showed you. So you have the ability to literally already have pages set up right when you get into your WordPress. Now, for instance, if you come into pages and you click add new, okay, your title here would be those titles that I just showed you. So about us, or if you were creating your homepage, or say a contact us page, and that is basically your title. Okay, anything that you put in the page is going to show up on that page. So you can basically build your pages out. Now, if you guys aren't, if you're not a designer, okay, there's a couple of things that you can do, you guys. You can go to Fiverr.com and hire somebody to build out your WordPress site for you, and that it'll typically cost you 150, 200 bucks, you know, maybe a little bit more. Or you can even go to Upwork. And this is honestly, if you've got the money and you don't want to spend the time designing it and you want to have someone else do it, you can always come to one of these websites, you know, hire a freelancer and have them build it out for you. That's always an option, okay? I build a lot of websites, so what I use is a program called Profit Builder, okay? And again, I'll put a link to this in the description. But what Profit Builder is it's a $67 one-time program, and you can use it on as many sites as you want, pretty much. So the cool thing about it is there's basically preloaded templates that allow you literally to basically have everything set up. So the templates are, you can preload them, and then essentially all you have to do is come in and change the information, change the images, change the links, and you are set. I mean, it makes setting up your websites super, super simple. The other thing is, you know, let's say that you want to run webinars, you guys. It's got webinar lead generators where you can literally, you know, give access to a webinar that you have going on. If you're in e-commerce, there are product review pages where you can literally do product reviews. So I mean, what you have with just this one tool saves me so much time and money. It's absolutely completely worth it if you're wanting to save some money and not have to hire somebody and still have your website look extremely professional. So that's a great route to go. Now, okay, let's talk about posts and pages for a minute, okay? So let's say that, for instance, for this website, let's say that I wanted to create a new page, right? So we come up here to add new page, and let's say that this is going to be let's say a webinar page, webinar form, okay? So if you have Profit Builder, this is really, really simple to build this out. You know, there's plenty of HTML online, you guys, where you can actually just copy code and put it in here. There's also other plugins, and I'll get into plugins here in just a second, that allow you to build out your site pretty easily. But some of those plugins do cost money. So I mean, the thing is, I'm literally showing you guys probably over a couple of years of doing web design and doing SEO. You know, this is a tool that I've found that is probably the most inexpensive way to be able to build out websites on multiple platforms. So with Profit Builder, the great thing about it is if you come into edit the page, what you can do, actually give me one sec, let's go back here. Okay, so the first thing that you'd want to do is come down here to theme template and make it Profit Builder full width page, okay? So what that's gonna do, and save draft, what that's gonna do now, instead of having the sidebar text like we just had when we first went into it, it's going to make it all the way across the page, okay? So from here, what you do is, remember those templates that I showed you? All right. So you basically upload a template. So let's say that, for instance, I'm doing a webinar page. So I come down here and find, let's say this one right here, okay? So webinar lead generator. Okay. Webinar form. Okay. And then edit. All right, so we come into load template and we click on the form that we just loaded, which is the webinar lead generator, and we load it up. Boom. Now look at your page. It's literally complete, you guys. So now all you have to do is come in here. Now, one thing about Profit Builder, if you're using it, this left side box right here controls the whole row, the entire row. So if you were to edit this, it's talking about the actual white background, okay? So if you wanted to mess with the padding, like the bottom padding, so if you want there to be less space between the bottom of the white and the upper, you just adjust the padding, right? Pretty simple. If you want the top to have less space, you can make the top go away, or you can make it really big, okay? So the padding, you guys, is just the top and the bottom of the actual space. Now, as you come to each box, you're going to see that there's another place to edit. So this would be per box. So like where your logo is, instead, we can upload files. So let me see if I, hold on one sec. Logo. All right. Cool. So let's say we import our logo and boom. And you can resize it and everything, you guys. So like you can literally do custom dimensions. If you don't like the way that the sizing looks, you can just change the width, the length, the height, everything. So you can basically edit it to your liking, right? And I mean, that's pretty simple for how quickly that you can put this together. So the cool thing is, like, you can set a timer for the actual event. You can adjust the date, and it's all pretty simple, you guys. It's all put in here. So you literally just find, and again, don't be scared by the HTML code in here, you guys, because you're not going to need to adjust anything with that. You just simply change the actual text. So if your webinar's on November 5th, look at that. It changes it real time for you too. So it changes it right there, you know, and November 20th, right? So it literally, it changes everything for you. You can edit everything within this. So that is literally how quickly you can put together a page for your website. And so the other thing, I use posts. Like if you have a blog on your website, you can use posts for the blog as well. And so let me just talk really quick with you guys about plugins, because it's going to be an important part for when you're actually setting up your website, okay? There's a couple of plugins that you're really going to want to have. And when you come into plugins, you just come up here to add new. Now, what is a plugin, you guys? Think of it like this. Think of it like an app for your website, or literally it's just a small program basically that adds onto your website. So for instance, contact form 7 is a contact form that I use on almost every single website. So literally, if you need a page on your website that just has contact form, you can basically install contact form, okay, activate the plugin. So anytime you install a plugin, you guys don't forget to activate it. It doesn't go live until you actually activate the plugin, okay? So you just activate the plugin, and then it shows up right here, okay? So you can literally go into settings, okay? Now, here's your contact form. Here is the shortcode. Now let me explain this, you guys. All you have to do is copy this shortcode, okay? Now, let's say we want to contact us page on our pages, okay, which I've already, actually built the page. So we just go into edit. Cool. So see, this was already input by that Lightning WordPress that I showed you guys. Thank you for visiting Rank One Digital Media. If you need support, please email me. Okay, so it automatically puts that stuff in. But the other thing that you can do is there's two different tabs here, visual and text, okay? Visual, you guys, is what it's gonna look like on your website. Text is the actual HTML code. So if you ever go to like YouTube, okay? So let's show you an example of this real quick. YouTube, all right, two of my favorite people. So let's show you guys real quick. When you want to share a YouTube video, okay, there's two options. You can actually copy the URL and then put it into your media library right here, okay? That's an option. Or like, so for instance, let me just show you guys real quick. If you were to add media here, and then you wanted to insert from a URL, you can put in this code right here, okay? You just copy it, you paste it, and it'll pull up the video, and then boom, you insert it into the page. That's option number one, okay? The other option is when you're in YouTube, there's a little embed right here, okay? You can copy this source code. So just copy that little bit of code. And then in the text tab, you can basically come in here and find where you want to put it, and you just place the code right here. Now, watch what happens when we go back to visual. Boom, the video's there. Okay, so pretty simple. The other thing is, you guys, you can center this, you can put it to the right, you can do whatever that you want to do with it. So that's how you would insert a YouTube video, okay? Now, let me get rid of this video and show you guys the contact. Why am I not seeing there it is. Sorry guys, a little bit blind this morning, plugins. Okay, so I misplaced that code. So let's copy that contact form 7, okay? And then we go back into pages and edit your contact us page. And then again, this is code. So we want to be on the text tab, and then you just drop that contact form 7 code right here. And when you update, so update. Now, if you preview this page, boom, you've got your note, you've got a contact form, and guess what? Now you can collect emails. Pretty awesome, right? So the other thing is, again, remember, if you don't like this menu over here, which I never have pretty much a menu on every single one of my pages, you guys, I typically only, if I am gonna have one, I actually don't even typically have it on any of my pages, to be honest with you. But it just depends on what you're using the site for. So remember that in here, when you're editing your page, if you scroll down here to theme template and just put full width, and then update it. Click preview changes. That should update the page. Cool. So I mean, it changed the look of it a little bit. Now the other thing too, if you don't like this contact form, again, you can build one out in Profit Builder as well. So if you wanted to fully customize the form, you can do it that way as well. So the other thing that I want you to take note of is when you're building a page, you want to understand that this right here is your H1 tag, okay? For SEO reasons, your H1 tag is really important, okay? This is technically, if this was a page that you wanted searched by Google, if this was a page that you wanted indexed, and if this was something that you wanted to get ranked for on Google, you would want your keyword in this H1 tag. So just understand, this isn't a title. This isn't like your actual menu item. You want in this exactly like what your keyword would be. So let me give you guys an example just really quick. So let's go to, SEO, okay. So I'm building this website out for my San Diego SEO agency. Now, this is my H1 tag. So typically what I would want in here is my keyword. So if this keyword was what I was wanting to rank for in Google, meaning if I wanted someone to go to Google and when they type in San Diego SEO agency, I want them to find my website, then this is what I would need in this tag. But it doesn't need to be exact phrase. You can always put top San Diego agency, digital media. I mean, you can still put other key terms within this, but if this is the key term that you're trying to rank that page for, then you want it in here. Now, the other thing is permalink right here, you guys, okay? This is your actual URL, okay? Where a lot of people go wrong is that their URLs are really messy. I mean, sometimes you'll see a URL that's like, literally like this, right? And when Google looks at that, you know, they're like, what the heck is this page about? It doesn't make any sense. So the other thing is, and this is really important, you guys, for when you're setting up for traffic and stuff like that, you want your keyword in your URL. So for instance, San Diego SEO agency, okay? This is what I would want in my URL. Okay. Now, the other thing being, and this is a really, really important thing to note. Let's say that your website was called San Diego SEO. Okay. So for instance, let's say, just using this example up here, let's say that your website was called san diego SEO.com. Okay. Now, for your permalink, let's say that you were trying to rank this page on your website for San Diego SEO. Okay, San Diego SEO is already in your website name. So if you were trying to rank for San Diego SEO agency, you wouldn't want your URL to repeat that. You wouldn't want it to be san diego SEO agency.com / San Diego SEO agency. Okay. Now, why? The reason is because Google calls this over optimization. It means they look at it as though you're trying to keyword stuff your URL, and they actually penalize you for it. So with that being said, if you were trying to rank for San Diego SEO agency, the only thing that you would need in your permalink, you guys, boom, agency. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, if you're trying to rank for San Diego SEO agency, look, it's got San Diego, it's got SEO, and it's got agency. Okay, you don't need to repeat the keywords in your URLs. In fact, you don't want to repeat, okay? So that would actually be your URL. So let's say, in case this is confusing you guys, let's give you one more example. Let's say that my key term that I was trying to rank for was rank 1 media. Okay. So let's say that I was trying to do rank 1 media. Now, let's say for the URL, I was trying to, if that was the keyword that I was trying to go for, rank and 1 are already in the URL. Okay. So all you would need on here is media. And now you've got all 3 keywords in your entire URL. And so when I click OK, that's actually the URL. So when somebody clicks on this link, it would take you to this page on your website. Okay, so just one sec. I'm going to one of the trainees, one of our trainees on the phone actually. Her name's Harriet, and we're actually helping her build out her website. And so I'm just going to make sure, see if she has any questions or if there's any confusion on this so far. So Harriet, are you there? All right. Well, has that made sense to you so far?
Yeah, no, it definitely has. There's a lot of different, especially I think my issue was I wasn't activating my plugin, and I just went back and looked through. I mean, that's something so simple, but it's something that's missed really easily.
Yeah. Very, very true. In case you guys didn't hear her, she said, you know, she discovered that one thing that she didn't do was she wasn't activating her plugins. So it's a simple mistake, you guys, that when I was first getting into WordPress and stuff like that I made too. So there is a learning curve to WordPress, but the more that you guys do it, the easier and easier it's going to get. So are there any other things that you have questions about, Harriet?
Does it really depend on the sort of like WordPress plan that you have whether or not you're able to upload or link to YouTube videos? Because I also
Okay.
I currently have plugins.
Do you mean like do you mean like a free WordPress versus a paid WordPress plan? All right, so Harriet brought up a really good question, you guys, and I'm hoping I understood the question. So when you guys watch the video, what's that?
I'm sorry, it's a little confusing, but this is not related.
Yeah. Basically, what Harriet asked you guys was when you set up your WordPress, and again, when you guys watch the how to set up a WordPress. Again, there's a paid version of WordPress and there's a free version of WordPress. Now, if you are looking to do some major SEO to your website and use all these plugins, you guys, you want to make sure that you use the free version of WordPress. There is, when you use the paid version, they actually don't allow you to use these plugins. They only allow you to use certain plugins. So this causes a lot of confusion with people because, and I made the same mistake, you guys. I went and bought the top plan WordPress, and all of a sudden when I was getting into SEO, I was like, why can I not find these plugins? And it was because I wasn't, the free version and the paid versions are actually 2 different versions of WordPress. So when you set up an account, you want to be able to set up a free account. Do not do the paid account. That will run you into some issues when you're trying to set up basically these plugins and stuff. So I hope that answers your question, Harriet. It's if
higher level like plans is going to be better. I think you're right. A lot of people are getting that show now, so I'll probably.
Now, is it possible that you're referring to the upgrading the theme?
No,
Okay. Yeah, so what's that? Okay, cool. So that's pretty much I mean, when you guys look at the difference in posts and pages, now when you set up your pages, you're going to obviously have a list of different pages here. So the question is, how do we get them on your home page? Okay, so when we come into appearance, you're going to want to come into menus. And this is essentially where you're going to set up your menu. So let's say you have a menu name of just main menu. Okay, so create the menu. And then what it allows you to do is you can pull in which menu items you want on that main menu. Okay, so the other thing, you can always create a footer menu too if you want to have certain items just on the footer menu. So what you do is you want to click on the items basically that you want on your main menu. You're going to add them to menu. Now the cool thing about this, you guys, is you can create submenus within your menu. So let's say that you wanted a drop down under Contact Us, and for them to, so first of all, let's save this. Let me show you guys real quick. And then let me take you to actually look at the site. Okay, so nothing so far, right? Now, let me close this. Okay. So the if you come over to Appearance and click on Customize, there's one thing that I always do is I set up a static page. So in case you didn't catch that, when you come into Customize under Menu, so let's go back here just so you guys can see this again. Under Appearance, go to Customize. Okay, it's going to bring up this menu. And then down at the bottom, it says Static Front Page. So this is what allows you to pick what page you actually want as your home page. So for instance, under Pages, if I want Ninja Forms, Privacy Form, let's say that this is home, okay? So this is just the home page. Okay, we save it. Okay, and then under Appearance, when we come to Customize, and we go to Static Front Page, you can now set your front page to home. Okay, and then this will be the actual home page that you build out, okay? So there's a lot of things that you can do, you guys, directly within this. If you want to pick where you want your menus, if you have, you know, a tagline for your website, you can do all that. I don't mess too much with this because I customize everything within Profit Builder, but you do have the option, if you're not using that plugin, to basically edit everything within this as well. So, and then if you wanted to come in here, now that the home page is there, we can add it to the menu. Now, again, with getting into submenus, you guys, let's say that the Contact Us page, you wanted to have the privacy policy page and the About Us under it. Notice that all I have to do is basically bring this over, and that basically puts them underneath the Contact Us. So you can also set this as primary menu, okay, and then click Save. And let's go back to visit the site. Okay, cool. So see how right here we've got home, and now there's a drop down under Contact Us. Now, typically I wouldn't have these under the Contact Us tab, you guys, but I'm just showing you how it's set up. So when you click on Contact Us, it takes you to the form that we set up. If you click on Privacy Policy, it's going to take you to the Privacy Policy page. So essentially, that's basically setting up your menus. So remember that once you build, now just to show you guys an example real quick, let's say that we built a post, right? Let's say add new. This site is awesome. And then we put a bunch of content. This site is great. Okay. Whoops. Okay. And we save. Okay. So when we come back into appearance and menus, I just want to show you guys that, where's it at? Posts. You can still add your posts to your menu. So like I said, they both function pretty much the same. There's not a whole lot of difference between how they function. So you could still, for instance, let's move these back out from underneath the Contact Us tab. So it's not a sub-menu item anymore. Let me see real quick. Okay, cool. So let's say that this post, again, you wanted it under, say, the home page. Okay, and then we save the menu. And then when you come in here to visit site, okay, your menu's now set up differently because you fixed the menu to where it's got all these options, but the home now has a drop down and has this site is awesome, and it takes you to that page. Okay, so pretty simple, you guys. The pages and the posts, again, they don't act a whole lot different, but essentially once they're set up, then all you need to do is go into the menu and set up your actual menu. And you can set up different menus too if you'd like. So with that said, the one thing I want to point out too is with your actual menus, you guys, let's say that, for instance, I set up this post, right? This site is awesome. Now, remember when I showed you guys when you're setting up your posts that this is your H1 tag. So this is the keyword that you're going after. And obviously we're going to be doing a series that's more SEO related to show you guys actually how to rank your websites. But this is your H1. So this isn't a title. It's not the title of your blog post. It's an H1 tag. Okay, so when you get into rankings, you'll start to better understand the importance of H1 tags, H2, H3 as we go through this program. So understanding that, again, if you wanted your keyword to be, for instance, we'll use Harriet as an example, right? For her website, how to lose weight using the sweet potato diet. Okay, let's say that the sweet potato diet was actually her key term. Okay, so let's say that if that was her keyword she was going to go after, she's going to come under here under permalink, and she's going to change this permalink to sweet potato diet. Okay, now the other thing is, just real quick, just to give you guys a quick little 30-second preview on the SEO program, you want this same keyword within the first basically 3 lines of your text. So one thing that you could do is you could come down here and you could title this, but typically what I do is I put it in the text. This site is great and I love the sweet potato diet. Obviously, if you have an article, it would be a little bit more smooth than that. You want it to be very natural, you guys. So, but the sweet potato diet is now in the article. And then you're going to want that to show up probably 4 or 5 times within the entire article, kind of spread throughout, because you want Google to go, okay, it's in the title, it's in the URL, it's in the first couple sentences, it's in the H2 tag. Oh, this article must be about the sweet potato diet. And so you're thinking in the way of how a Google algorithm would think. Okay, all an algorithm is doing is looking for information and saying, is this article related to what Google clients are searching for? And so that's all you're doing. Now, again, being natural, don't over optimize, don't blast this with 80, the sweet potato diet, okay, because that looks very unnatural to Google and Google will penalize you. So there's an actual ratio. Now, to help you guys out, there's a plugin that I want to show you that is absolutely phenomenal, okay? It's called Yoast SEO. And so all you would do with this, oops, or you can just type in Yoast, you guys, if you forget the, or maybe not. All right, so it's this one right here. So you would install it on your website. Install. Activate, so always activate. Okay, and now it's installed. Now, the cool thing about this tool is when you go to a post or a page, okay, now, again, let's say that this post is about the sweet potato diet. Sweet potato diet. And again, you don't want it to just continue to say sweet potato diet, sweet potato diet, sweet potato diet. That's why I changed this up a bit. The sweet potato diet for fast fat loss. Okay, so that's going to look a little bit more natural than having it say sweet potato diet, sweet potato diet. So again, it's about making it look natural to where it's not just blasted with stuff. But so let's say that we have sweet potato. Okay. Now the cool thing about Yoast, you guys, is you can come down here and it'll show up at the end of every post and you can put what is your focus keyword. Okay, so the sweet potato diet. Okay, and it's going to tell you exactly what you're missing for SEO. Okay, there's no subheading in your H2. There's no outbound links. Okay, and we're going to get into all this stuff, you guys, in another lesson. But the tags that you put on your photos are important. The meta description, okay? This is exactly what this is going to look like in Google. When somebody searches or comes across your web page, this is what this is going to look like. So let me show you guys real quick. The see how I just changed that permalink? So the sweet potato diet, fat loss. Okay, so if you change your permalink, it's going to change it down here too, right? It's going to have your website.com / and then this, okay? But notice how the sweet potato diet is in bold and fat loss is not. Okay, that's because your focus keyword is just the sweet potato diet. So it's saying, okay, we found it in the URL, we found it in the H1 tag, okay, and then this is your meta description, meaning it's kind of like a preview for what is people are going to find when they come across your website. So, for instance, we discovered that the sweet potato diet is the fastest way to effectively burn fat. For men and women in a healthy fashion. So this is now going to be what shows up in Google for your meta description, okay? So now we've got the sweet potato diet in the description, the URL, the H1 tag, and so the other thing is like, what is an H2? You know, when I was new, I was like, well, what the heck is that? So let's say like halfway down your article, you want to put, say, some recipes for the sweet potato diet. So sweet potato diet recipes. Okay. So we highlight that, and then right here, so this little box right here, the toolbar toggle, you guys, it gives you options to change your headings for things, okay? So if you put H2, it's gonna highlight it, it's gonna make it a little bit bigger. It's just basically another section of your article. But now you'll notice when we come down here that since we changed that, it turned green, okay? So now that we added it to the H1 tag, that went away. So basically the goal is to just get these to light up green. If you can get them green, then guess what? Your SEO is going to be pretty right on for your on-page optimization. Like right here, the meta description is under 120 characters. So we can take this meta description and say that the sweet potato diet is very fast for men and women in a healthy fashion. And we have an entire article on. So the other thing I like to do, you guys, with the meta description is I like to leave them hanging, right? So if somebody's reading this, an entire article on what? You know, it makes them want to click. So that's essentially the goal, is it's like, okay, kind of leave them hanging here. But now, as you noticed, that turned green as well. So we have basically, again, we're just knocking these out, right? No outbound links appear in this page. So let me teach you guys something real quick. An outbound link on a article, it's really actually a good thing to link out to an authority website, okay? So let's say that we have weight loss as a keyword in our article somewhere, and it can be anywhere within your article, okay? So what I would do is I'd actually come over to Wikipedia, and I would just type in weight loss. Boom. Wikipedia has an entire, basically, page on weight loss. So here's what you do. You copy the URL, and then you find the word within your article, and right here says insert edit link. Boom. Enter. Guess what? So you just basically linked out. Oops, I just canceled that, sorry. Okay, so you just linked out to Wikipedia. So if you look at this, this is, if you guys have ever heard of a backlink, that's exactly what this is. This is a backlink. You're backlinking to Wikipedia, okay? So the goal with ranking is to have other websites do this same thing, but to your website. Okay, that's going to be some big ranking factors for you. So you just created basically an outbound link to Wikipedia. You guys, Wikipedia has a ranking of like 90 something out of 100 as far as its trustability factor. So you're ranking out now, or you're linking out to an authority website. Google's going to look at this and go, wow, like, cool, like they're actually linking out to, you know, and basically tapping into where if people go to this article, you know, they're going to get some really valuable information because these guys are actually using reliable sources. So, and then if you come down to Yoast, guess what? We just got rid of that. So it's green now, right? So the other thing is just basically going through this. The text contains 30 words, which is far too little. So let's say that we, you know, if our article was a little bit longer. Okay, so that's going to show up basically. So real quick, you guys, your articles, you don't want them to be less than 400 words. So in fact, I would try to do around 600 because that is just in Google's eyes, it looks more quality if you have longer articles. So that's pretty much it, you guys, on a quick rundown for SEO. I'm going to get into far more detail in this program with you guys, and it'll make so much more sense. But understanding for articles, it's actually, if you're trying to rank a particular article, I always link out to an authority website, and typically I put a YouTube video actually in my article as well. So those are going to be some really helpful ranking factors as well. The other thing, there's another plugin that you guys are going to want to get, and it is called XML sitemaps. That's not the one I'm looking for. Cool. This one right here, you guys. Google XML sitemaps. Okay. So essentially, what it does. In fact, I might already have it installed. Same thing with this video XML sitemap generator. So if you want to just look for that in the plugin store. Now, what this is going to do, you guys, is if you put a YouTube video on your article, you can literally ping it to Google right away. So essentially, what you want to do is when you have your article done, you just come in here, you click on YouTube and save settings, and then generate video sitemap. So once there's a YouTube video up, you just click this button and it shoots it out to Google, and basically Google will index it pretty much that day. So it's another way, like I said, it's a fast way to index your website. Now again, for those of you that are just getting into WordPress, you guys, I got way too into SEO for you guys. So it's a little bit advanced. So I wouldn't, again, don't stress about all this stuff. I just want you guys to have enough to kind of give you the edge as far as when you're setting stuff up. Now, again, with media, you guys, you can literally, you can add your photos, you can add anything into here. In fact, let's say that you have a section of your website that offers a free download. You can drop a PDF file into this area and actually link it to the button that's on your website. So with your media, you can add videos in here, images, logos, whatever you need. That way, and it's basically like a library. So anytime that you're building out your pages or your posts, you can have access to those images. So the other thing is, if you ever need it, if you come into your media library and click on a photo, there is an actual URL for the photo. Okay, so if you're ever in a program like Profit Builder and it asks you for the URL of the image, okay, this is what they're referring to. So what it means is that your image needs to be in your library in WordPress, and then once it's in there, it's going to create an actual URL for you that links to that image, so you can put it anywhere on your site. Okay, pretty simple. The other thing is that when you have an image on your website, there's a thing called alt text. Okay, so to get back to the example of the sweet potato diet, let's say that you had an image on your website that was of a sweet potato. Okay, what you're going to want to do is you click on that image and you're going to change the alt text to the sweet potato diet. Why would you do that? Because it's keyword rich. This is the keyword that you're going after in the article. Okay, so it's all congruent. Okay, now if you have a picture of a horse, don't put the sweet potato diet unless you put the sweet potato diet for horses. Okay, make it relatable to the photo, but keyword rich. Okay, again, it's going to add relevancy, but also you don't want it to seem unnatural. Okay, so understand that Google's pretty smart, you guys. They're not, you know, they know what they're doing. So just be smart about how you do it, but also there's a lot that you can get away with. So if you just do it correctly and do kind of follow these tricks that I'm teaching you, you're going to be totally fine. So let's see, contact forms, marketplace. I don't even know why marketplace is on here actually. There are plugins, you guys, like Mojo Marketplace, Formidable. You know, I don't even put this stuff typically on my sites, but it is going to be there when you first get started. So there will be some plugins that you're going to want to delete just because it takes up space on your actual site. So with that, you guys, I hope this helps. You know, I hope that this gives you guys a better understanding of just everything, your settings, and how to basically navigate your website. Okay, there is when you come into settings down here and you come into permalinks, there is one thing that I would suggest to you, especially if you're not using this program, because this program sets it up for you. But when you come into permalinks, you want to change your structure to just post name. Okay, if you look at some of these other how these URLs are set up, I don't like having a date in my URL or archives. You know, I like it really simple. Pretty much my URL plus whatever I put in that H1 tag. So same with this. So if it's just sample post, you know, that's typically what I go with, you guys, and then just click save changes. And this is going to pretty much get you guys set up and rocking and rolling. So with that, again, I know this was a long video. I know it was packed full of information. You might have to watch it 3 or 4 times, but we're going to have a lot more of this great information coming your way. If you guys have questions, please reach out to me. And again, check back in the members area for you know, all the training videos that are coming out for how to optimize your website for SEO and everything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.